for 8 p.m. and it's already happened. It said that it was 12 a.m. tomorrow, even though I don't know. I definitely set it right. I don't know what's going wrong. But I'm back. So this is early. I'm early. A couple of minutes early, not terribly early. Is this backwards or forwards? Oh, happy when? Yes, welcome home to me. Yes, I am back. I am back. I am back in town. This isn't a town, it's a village at best. But I'm back from there and I'm having a rest. Not much of a rest, because I had to take the rubbish out in the wet and do the cooking and all that stuff. Hooray. Back to work. Yay. So, yes, description says I go on live at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. See, I think that it's gone to everyone's local times and messed up, because I put 8 p.m. here, and 8 p.m. here is in about 2 minutes. But when I tried to reset it to make sure that it said 8 p.m, even though that's what I'd set it as, it just went live anyway. It just went live automatically. Live, I'm live, I'm live, I'm alive. You're at noon, I'm at 8. Everywhere is different. Hey, it's all the time, it's all the same. Everyone is here, unless they're not. So I have missed guitar. It's a little bit of out of tune, but I've been using my little ukulele in Edinburgh, and I can't play the ukulele, but I can't play the guitar. So what difference does it make? But you can make slightly nicer sounds on the guitar than you can on a ukulele, because a ukulele is a mess, and even the best ukulele player in the world sounds terrible. I think you'll agree, unless you're a fan of ukulele. And if you are, I'm very sorry. I've got 3 or 4 or 5, but I still admit that they sound like cack. You can't make a jive with ukulele. With ukulele. With ukulele. And also, I didn't know any of the chords, so that was even worse. Even worse. Even worse. So, I've had fun. I'm just, yeah, my fingers are going to get all... So, this time last week, I went live in Edinburgh, and I was like, oh, I just had something to eat, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to have a rest. It was my last day doing the Fringe. It was the last day of the Fringe. I'm going to stay there for a couple more days, but it was the last day of the actual Fringe. So I got up and I did a poetry show, and then I milled around for a bit. I did my show, which went relatively successful. I made as much money in the last day as I made in the whole rest of the time, but that's mainly because I mentioned that it was a free Fringe and that I could have donations and that I had a book to sell. Whereas for most of the middle of the run, I was like really doubting myself, and I was like, yeah, it's just go. It's a free show. It's fine. So I did get some money in the first couple of days, but the more it went on, and the more I had little children coming into my show expecting an actual little circus, and the more I had people really confused about where they were, and the more my venue changed the name 3 times, the more confused people were, and the more people coming to make in the end Greek gyros, but in the middle fried chicken. The more people came through, because the kitchen was downstairs, and the more people that came to use the toilet and use the hand dryer so that it went off all the way through my show, the more people were doing that, the less confident I was in whatever show I had. So I didn't ask for any money, because I was like, I got more people leaving than were staying. But the people that stayed turned out actually liked it. So I got my audience, my tiny audience, even though it was very tiny, and they did stay. The chat's gone off there. So maybe if I tried the Pete Townsend windmill. Oh, AI messing with everything. I'm not sure what that's the context for, because I wasn't looking. because it went away. Oh, I'm looking straight into the, I've got a light right in my, I set up a light and it's making my eyes go funny. I'm not used to it. Anyway, this time last week, that happened. I actually made some money on the last day, and I thought, right, I did the live stream, so I'd done already 2 shows, and I'd taken everything away, packed it away, thrown away all the excess flyers that had the wrong venue on them, and was like, that's it, that's me done. Did the show, went, so I go back into town to have a last look at town, last look at Edinburgh, the Fringe and everything. So I went out and there wasn't a bus for about 20 minutes, so I thought I'll walk in. So I had a sweater on and a coat, and it was quite a warm night, and I didn't realise. So I walked in really quickly. I was like, and then I got to the Banshee Labyrinth was there, and I saw somebody I knew who was Kevin waiting outside, and I was like, oh, I'll go and see this show with Kevin. That'll be a good idea, because, you know, it's last night, I'll see a show. So we were queuing for a bit, and then somebody I knew who works in the bar said, do you want some water? And I'm like, yes. So I had this glass of ice water, and I drank it down, and I immediately, the shock of having overheated and walked and had that, I was like, ugh. So I wasn't feeling very well, and I was feeling really woozy, but I went to see the show, and it was all right. It was a good show. And then we decided, because it was like 10 o'clock, 10:30, we decided to go over the other side of town, over Northbridge, to go and see comedians perform Rocky Horror Show from memory, which is basically a big sing-along to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So we went across the North Bridge, which is, I'll tell you what, the North Bridge has got roadworks on both sides. So you might have seen in long ago videos, you could see over the North Bridge. For the last 2 or 3 years, there's been roadworks both sides. So there's only like some of the lanes open, and you can only walk on one side of it. And there are also posters up on the side of it, like all along, with big blocks on the side. So somebody was walking 2 abreast, which they shouldn't do because you're supposed to be walking both ways. And I was in a hurry. So I said to Kevin, hey, I'm going to try and pass this couple that's taking up all of the room. So I went round this couple, and I'm not entirely sure what happened. They were taking up all the space. But the big poster blocks, I think, must have tripped me. So I tripped over one of the wooden blocks and went straight forward. Luckily had my big backpack, so that broke the fall. But it felt like I'd been hit in the head, but I don't think I had. But I had been hit in the knee. So my knee is covered in bruises, really swelled. So I limped. I kept walking, and we limped, and then we went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show sing-along, and it was fun, and I sang along. But while I was there, I saw somebody from a place called The Right Angle that have seen my show and cheered me on in previous years. They're some of my few fans. They actually like me. And somebody came to see me last year, but didn't write about my show, but came to see my show and was like praising me to the hilt, but didn't have money to give me for my show. And I had, because there's no internet, it was the same venue when it was 3 names ago. It didn't have internet, so I said, oh, well, you can pay me using this QR code, and they couldn't get it to work. So they didn't pay me for that show last year, but they saw me this year and apologised for not coming to see my show. And I was like, fine, you know, they're not based in Edinburgh, they come in every day. So it's like a lot of things that they have to pack in, and if they're walking from one side, especially with the North Bridge as it is. Anyway, I've got a painful knee, but I've watched this good show. It's past midnight. My knee's already swelling. I've just hit it. It's a week, but it's still very bruised. Oh, fuck. That really hurts. Anyway, I will show it you. Look, that's a week later. So it's better than it was. Anyway, so he actually did PayPal me some money for seeing my show last year, even though he didn't see my show. My knee. Even though he didn't see my show this year. So that was good. But then I needed to get back, and the night buses went for another hour, and I was like, no. So I limped back to my flat. So I had a very long walk that night. So I didn't get back until 2 p.m. 2 a.m. 2 p.m. That would have been a very long walk. 2 a.m. And then I slept. And then I didn't do much the next day. But we went to the beach on Wednesday, and I was going to put some video up, but I didn't. I've got some like footage if anyone wants to see it. I'll try and edit it. So I mean, I actually put my bathing suit in, and I went into the sea, which was very far out. And then I was gonna go swimming, and the people I was with went swimming, but I stepped on some crabs and some slimy things, and was like, no, because I was only up to my knee, and my knee was hurting by then. So I was like, I'm not gonna go swimming. So I waddled back up the beach in my swimming costume. Didn't even get wet on the swimming costume, just got my lower leg wet. And then I thought, oh no, because I've got a cut on my knee. What if I get something horrible, some sea contagion? So I didn't, I don't think. I hope not. It's still, that was Wednesday, so maybe I will. So that's an adventure. Damn it, Janet. So that was fun. But now I've got an injury, so I did several shows last week. I got injured, I went for a walk, I felt sick, I got some money, and then I went home. Ha! When I say home, I mean the place that we called home when we were in Edinburgh, which was nice and was near all the shops and was really lovely and was quite near to the sea, it turns out, because we took the same bus to the sea, it turns out, and we went to the sea on the last day we were there, and it was so nice. It rained on us, there were seagulls and there were crabs, and there was quite a lot of sand that was effectively mud. It was mud. I mean, I spent ages cleaning my feet. Just see my toe there. I walked in the mud, sand. This is weird, right? Because it was very far out, the sea, and then when it came in, it came quite close to us, but the bank of sand, because there was like a spit of sand that you could walk along as a causeway and get to an island, but you get trapped in the island if the sea came in. So as the tide came in, the muddy sand actually dried out, because it was like, I don't know how that happened, because it must have sort of tipped. It was so, as the water came in, the bit of sand that was nearest us got drier and drier, and then got covered in water. So it didn't get dry for very long. So that was fun. So, and now I'm home again. So I came home on Thursday. So I took the train, because it turned out that the train, because I booked it in advance last week, the train was the same price as the coach would have been. And the train, I had to get the train at 10:10, and I was home by 6 o'clock. I was in Pontypool by 5:10, and then I got a lift, which was very nice. My sister-in-law picked me up, so that was good, because the buses from there aren't great either, and it would have taken me longer. So I was home in the same day. If I had taken the coach, I would have had to take coach at about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and I would not have been home until noon the next day. And then that was just to Newport, so I would have still had to get another hour and a half after waiting. So I wouldn't have been home until like 2 o'clock, probably. So that's a long journey. And so I am quite glad. It was a couple of pounds more, but I'm quite glad I did that. I had actually planned to go to London, but I was just like, I'm done now. This is me done. I will go to London at some point, I think. But yeah, and I've got to go back to Edinburgh, because now I'm on the board of the Fringe Society. So I'm not sure what that involves, but I've got to do an online course in the next month. It will tell me what to do. It's not a paid position, but nothing I do seems to give me any. Even if I do things in order to make money, they don't make money. Like, technically, I should have made money from my show in Edinburgh, but I spent money on flyers that had the wrong information on them, and I spent twice as much as meant to and ordered twice as many, because I did it wrong, because the internet went out halfway through me doing it, and I had to put in the artwork twice, and I thought, why do I have to put in the artwork again? And it turned out because I'd ordered too many with the wrong information, it turned out, but only because they changed the name of the venue 3 days after I got them. And also, Everybody thought it was still the venue name that had been the venue name before the venue name, cause in May it was something else, and all of the information from then said that. So it was Burrito and Shake in most of the information, even though it was Murphy's in some of the information on my flyers, and it was Greek Gyros Grill by the time we did most of the shows. So that was fun. Nobody's talking to me. You're all losing hope because you saw my knee, and I'm talking to you and you're not talking to me. Is anyone still there? Have I lost you? Have I lost everyone? Not surprising. So that was fun, but exhausting, and also the middle of it, I did have a cold, but we took a test because everyone came down with the thing that everyone had 5 years ago, but we didn't. Fortunately, we as a household took the test because everybody else had, this was after the fact, everyone else had the thing, and that was interesting because a lot of shows were getting cancelled and had to be replaced. We didn't have that thing. I did have a big bruise on my knee by the end of it, and I had been ill in the middle, but in a different way. So that was fun. Interesting fun. What a fun time I had. I did actually love it, but it's mixed. Something, everybody's talking at me. I hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. People stop and staring. I can see their faces, only the shadows of their mind. That's near enough the right sort of chords. I'm going where the sun keeps shining through the pouring rain. That's a good film. Tainted by the main actor and his subsequent tomfoolery. But at least he's got a daughter that does a lot of films that are quite good. She doesn't do very many actually anymore. But she's an activist for things and she's a good person. So that cancels out him. Yes, so bad people making good art. There's quite a few of them. There's also some bad people making some bad art that everyone said was good at a certain point and has been cancelled out by them. Now, John Voight being a bit of an arse doesn't cancel out Midnight Cowboy being a very good film. But he didn't write the film. He was just in the film. And the character is the main thing. It doesn't really matter. If the actor does something bad, see, I'm not sure. See, interesting, because I actually like The Last Flash, and I know that the guy, the person, is he non-binary? They are non-binary. What's his name? Ezra. What's his? Pit of my own making. They have done things that are not proven, and I like The Flash. I like The Flash. I know it was a little flawed. It wasn't that bad, and now it's on Prime Video, so you can watch it for free if you've got Prime Video, but that's not really free because you have to pay for that. Anyway, I like The Flash. I'm sorry, I do. And I also liked Aquaman 1, but not Aquaman 2! Aquaman 2 was pants, but Aquaman 1 was right. Liked it. Haven't seen the new Superman yet, though. I have heard mixed things. A lot of people say, yeah, it's the best Superman ever, but somebody I used to work with who used to be the editor of Total DVD said he didn't much care for it, and it was an inferior remake of the Christopher Reeves one, which is a fair point, but I prefer that sort of slightly, ever so slightly campy, but not too campy. They still take themselves seriously, but not too seriously. But I prefer that to the po-faced, the whole last 20 years of Superman and Batman. I know I need a little bit of fun in my superhero movies. I'm sorry. It's like the ones that everyone says, oh, that's terrible, are the ones I like. Batman and Robin, I'm afraid I like that. I'm sorry. Is that me having poor taste, or is that you being Awful. Is that you're taking yourself too seriously. If you don't like Batman and Robin, you're taking yourself too seriously. If you don't like Thor Love and Thunder, you're taking yourself too seriously. If you don't like fun, can't help you. I like fun. Fun in a movie. That's what I like. Yay. Yay fun. So that's Batman. Is Batman so serious? Yes, but Batman shouldn't be serious. For Adam West wasn't serious, and really the Tim Burton ones weren't that serious. Even when they were being serious, they had style and they had fun. That's what you need from a film, is style and fun. That's all you need from a film, is style and fun. Not all you need, but it's a very great deal of it. The ones that people say has a lot to do with not liking fun, misogyny, homophobia, and bad taste. I'm afraid bad taste. If you don't like fun films, then I can't help you. Like, I like it serious. I like it when and there's action. I don't like it when there's all action. The action is the least of it. It's like anyone could. I do admire the skill of the stuntmen and the special effects people that make the car chases and do all the actiony scenes. I admire their skill and perseverance and the fact that they've worked on their craft. I still don't like it though. I admire you for doing it, but I still don't like it. Sorry. Like The Matrix was fun, and the VX was fun, but The Matrix 2 was pants, and Matrix 3 was a waste of time because of the VX special effects. What am I saying? I don't know anymore. There's X's in there somewhere. X-axis. So yes. So I know lots of people like very serious, very. It's like I don't know. Wednesday Addams could. Yes, quite, Cara Fingal, quite. Now that's another thing that's rubbish. Is the last series of Wednesday? What on earth is that about? No, thank you. The first series was fun. The second series was not fun. The second series was horrible. I did not like it. It's not meant for me. That's fine. If you like it, that's up to you. Well done you for liking it. But I didn't like it. And I'm allowed not to like it. And I'm allowed not to like what you like. And you're allowed not to like what I like. And it doesn't mean you're wrong. If you like really heavy, serious, somber films that are all to do with things that masculine-y things, that's fine. I actually like masculine-y films. I do. But some films are just not fun. So there's films that I like that aren't fun. But I like things too, yes. I like things. All sorts of things. Yes, so I have a wide range of films that I like. For instance, Fight Club. Yes, please. I like Fight Club. Matrix. I like Matrix. Don't like the sequels very much. Meow, meow, meow. So there's a lot of masculinity. I like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Buddy movies. I like male buddy movies. I like them. I do. I find something like Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Yes, please. I like a good western if it's not just actiony, shooty-uppy sort of thing. Some westerns are good. Some of them are. What about what? What did you say? Sorry. Live chat. Don't talk about Fight Club. Good point. I'm allowed to talk about Fight Club because I probably couldn't join Fight Club. And so I'm going to talk about Fight Club to ruin Fight Club for everyone. Ha 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 ha. You're not allowing me into your club. I'm going to tell everybody about your club. Ha ha ha. Yes. Yes. There's a lot of films that I think films. There's a lot of films that I like. I like films. I like lots of films. But I have a wide range of films, and some of them are your standard, that's what men like films, and some of them are like, that's a fun film for all of everyone. And I don't particularly like romantic comedies. I don't like really girly films, but there are some that are alright. There's exceptions to everything. But that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate films with strong female leads, and strong male leads, and strong non-binary leads, and strong leads, just generally. And also slightly weak leads. I don't mind that either. It doesn't. I like all sorts of things, but there are some things I do not like, and a very, very boring film that has po-faced taking itself too seriously when it's not particularly great. Like, I watched the first series of Sandman, and it was alright. And then the surrounding stuff about can bad people make good art? That all stuff came out, and it was like, yeah, it's a bit dodgy, but I'm gonna try watching the second series of Sandman anyway. And I watched it, and it was like, this is very, very clunky dialogue, very, very, very po-faced, taking itself too seriously, a lot of cliches, not great. And quite apart from the whole bad people making things thing, it wasn't great. It was dull as fuck. Didn't like it. Sorry. Didn't mind the first series though, that was good. I enjoyed the first series, but the second series was bad. But that's my opinion. But from an objective level, the dialogue was very, very, very predictable. And it's like, if you know what the next word out of a character's mouth is going to be, and how they're going to convey it, and it sounds like it's written by a very bad AR? Yes, AI. A very bad AI generating tool that comes up with the next word. That's what you expected it to be. Then that's not good for anyone, and it's not good for me. Not good for me. I didn't like it. Ranty rant. Well, who am I to say anything? Because my Edinburgh show was, I don't know, I had a nice audience review that said that it was great, that it had songs and poetry and stories and everything. And I had very nice feedback from the last audience I had that bought my book, and a very nice feedback from the person that saw my show last year and gave me some money from last year, this year. And I had an interesting, I had a 3-star review somewhere that I think they appreciated me. 3 stars is about what? 3 stars out of 5. That's fine. That's solidly average. Fine. That's not terrible. That's, go see that show. I enjoyed that show. That's not like, oh, it'll change your life. But it's like, it's fine. And then I realised I had got mentioned in The Scotsman, but I couldn't open it because I'd missed it, and it was too many days later, so I couldn't really tell what they said. But they did come to see the show, I think, on a day where the children had thought it was a little circus, and I was going, what have I done? So it was not so much about the show as about the circumstances surrounding the show. The circumstances surrounding the show were a lot more interesting than the show. I did enjoy doing the show, but I don't think it was fully cooked, to be honest. I can cook it some more. Not much point now, because Edinburgh's over and I'm probably not going to bring it up again. But who knows? I may. I've had some ideas for next year that don't involve it. 10 stars. Silverado. Silverado is a western, isn't it? I think I've seen that. I can't remember. Way back in the distant past. Anyway, I will leave you and I'll see you next week, which will be 2 weeks since Edinburgh Fringe had finished for me. It's been a whole week. It doesn't feel like it's been a whole week because I only left Edinburgh on Thursday. But it has been a whole week. And now I'm just like, oh no. I tell you what though, I really do miss getting up in the morning and doing somebody's gig and then doing somebody else's gig and then doing a show of my own and then interviewing somebody and then doing maybe a little bit of a video. I didn't put any videos up. I did do video. I did film a little bit of video, but then I looked back at myself and I looked so exhausted and absolutely terrible. I was like, oh no, I can't put that up. I look horrible. But then again, maybe I always look horrible, but I look particularly horrible in those. So I'm going to have to somehow edit them so I don't look quite as bad. So maybe just like cut bits of my face off and not actually in real life in the video. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's the end of my face. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, so I will have to sort of edit around the fact that I look like absolute hell. So I didn't really have any days off when I was there. I'd actually factored in 3 days off, but on those 3 days off, I still ended up doing at least 2 shows from somebody else's shows and editing and interviewing people. So what can you do? Anyway, go and watch all the videos I did of the interviews with all the lovely people that I met, which was not as many as I meant to do because I was tired. Yes, have a good week. Thank you. I hope my knee does heal quickly because I've just banged it again, which wasn't great. So, ow, I just hit my hand as well. Not having much luck here. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.